Hello, welcome back to another episode over here at the Dana Lee Project, where you have Mandy and I discussing all things that women of our age deal with and have to figure out and try to handle, much of which is healing their relationship with food and their bodies. So that's my area of expertise. But in that topic, it really is, like I've often said to women, it's not really about the food. That's a symbol of something else happening in your life. So we have been talking about different topics. Sometimes Mandy has a question for me. So what are we doing this week, Mandy? What do you have?
This week, one of those topics that's been out there talking to me saying, when is it going to happen? When are you going to say this? When are you going to talk about it? And today's the day. I'm ready for it. Ready?
Boom, boom, boom.
Food noise.
Oh, food noise. Okay. Yeah.
Everybody's talking about food noise. And this is like one of those things that, I mean, maybe I haven't heard this one ever until maybe the last year or two. I've never heard that food noise being said. And now I was actually at the doctor's office. And I take medicine for my anxiety. And she asked me, she used that word food noise. And I was like, what? That's interesting. Now the doctors are asking me if I have food noise. And I'm like, okay, along with all the other conversations that we have. But I was surprised that she said that. And anyways, I personally would love to talk about it. I don't even know where to start. It's such a big word now.
Well, yeah, it is really interesting that is the term that has been coined for something that basically it is how the thought of food and everything food rules your every thought all day, every day. So I think it could be assumed once you hear food noise, if you're in this realm of really struggling with food issues, emotional eating, binge eating, food obsession, compulsion, restriction, deprivation, dieting. If you've been in that realm for any length of time and you hear food noise, you're like, I know what that is.
Yeah.
Pretty much
you know what? Why don't I look it up?
Yeah.
Why don't I look it up and see what the world says it is? Because I know what I think it is. But let's see.
Yeah, I didn't have, while you're looking that up, I did not have that term, but what I would use is compulsion, obsession. Like I felt obsessed about food, whether it was I was eating food, obsessed about when's the next time I'm going to eat, how I'm going to eat. I'd wake up in the morning and the first thing on my mind is like, what am I going to eat this morning? What am I going to eat today? What did I eat last night? It was a constant dominating thought, like every day in and out of my life for like 2 fucking decades. So I didn't have the term food noise. That wasn't in the lexicon. That's not what we said back in the 90s, 2000s. We didn't, it really was only coined a couple of years ago. I feel like it was around as Ozempic hit the market and the GLP-1s, and somehow around that, I think it was like, I didn't even know how it came about.
That's amazing too, that it did come about, because it's one of those things. It's like, oh yeah, that's exactly what I've been trying to tell people forever about it. So food noise, according to Google, refers to the persistent and intrusive thoughts about food that can interfere with daily lives. It is not a medical diagnosis, but rather a term used to describe this phenomenon. And that's exactly what you just said.
Yeah, intrusive thoughts. That is a really good way. Yeah. And I'm just so grateful that I really put in the work to uncover what that food noise was really. It's like static. And it's so with the static, it's hard to hear yourself and connect with yourself underneath that static. So that's where the real work begins. How do you like turn down the static just a little bit because you care about turning up what that food noise is really trying to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not always easy to decipher, and it certainly can be convoluted and confusing. And I don't really, and there's a lot of, I don't know. What if you did know? Because I think we do know underneath. It's just we've been numbed out and we use food specifically to numb out so we don't feel.
Oh.
Um,
And you know what? Food noise can happen to me in so many different ways. Sometimes, let's say we're walking down the street and I can smell a barbecue, and I'm like, ooh, that smells so good. Barbecue. Ooh, I haven't thought about
hmm.
barbecue in a while. And then I obsess about it. I'm like, damn, I'm going to have a barbecue at some point in the next couple of days. And then it would stay there and stay there. Another one would be an advertisement, and advertisers, that's like they know what to do to make it stay in your head and think about, you know, uh, the chicken looks really good, or whatever, the Arby's hamburger or whatever, not Arby's isn't beef burger or whatever makes it look so good, and then it sticks in my brain and stays there. Or the pastry that's on the kitchen table right now that my husband took a bite out of and put back down, and there's so much left. Why is it still sitting there? It's talking to me. And that's what I used to say. Oh, it's talking to me. It's talking to me. They don't talk to me anymore.
Mm.
They're not talking to me at all anymore. But that's what I used to say as food noise. I'm like, oh my God, those, those potato chips in the cupboard are talking to me. And that's basically what I was talking about, is the food noise. It's just
And
like, it's pulling
yeah.
me down there. It's like, go down there and eat it. Go down there and eat it.
And I would use the term calling to me. It's so
Mm-hmm.
you'd say talking to me, and I'm like, oh my God, that chocolate bar is calling my name. It is like the ice cream in there is calling my name.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even if I had, on a Sunday night, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna eat these and then I'm gonna throw it out so I don't have it. It's not like that makes the food noise go away.
Mm.
It wouldn't make it go away. It like just messed with me even more about the games and then the restriction and like, oh, you can't have that. And then so it was like a little game I'd play with
Oh
myself.
yeah, and you don't trust yourself, so you have
Yeah.
to throw it out, or else
Hmm.
the
Yep.
food noise will win, and I will
Yeah.
eat it.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
It's like exactly.
And then I would eat it and I would feel bad about it because I don't have the self control and I'm a piece of shit. And so, blah, blah, blah. The wheels
Mhm.
just keep going down the crazy madness that is food dysfunction. That was my brain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I now looking back in retrospect, I think it's just that when you're not equipped to really handle big feelings and big emotions and big transitions in life, the food noise gives you something to think about and a problem to focus on rather than the other actual real life things happening.
And you're not saying that as like, you're saying you were
Hmm.
not equipped.
No.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. You're like, I wasn't equipped to deal with it. So I would focus on the food noise and the
Yeah,
food,
but I
something that I
think
could control.
in general, though, I think that that is one of the reasons food noise is there. So
Yeah.
yes, I'm using myself as an example, but I don't think that my example is too personal. I think it's more universal.
No, no, definitely. But what I mean is that when you said when you're not equipped to deal with that, you were referring to people who, um, or us in general, like society. We're
Yes.
given society, we're given this thing so easy, like, oh no, we've got a billion diets that are going to come right after Christmas that are going to all
Mhm.
just be wonderful, and you're all going to have all the answers that you have to sign up for it, and da, 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 to fix
Yep.
this problem. The problem is food. The problem isn't your mental health. The problem is you're eating. The problem isn't why you're
Yeah.
eating. So that's the thing, is like we're always told over and over and over again. Society tells us, doctors tell us, psychiatrists tell us that it's not the problem is the food and the fact that you're reaching for it and you're eating it. It's not the fact that you want to reach for it and that you want to eat it. That's where we come in with the program. It's like
Mm-hmm.
we actually have like there's a reason, there's got to be a reason why I keep going for it. And that's the thing that isn't there's this disconnect
Mm-hmm.
in the world.
And the thing that I've learned about this whole healing process of my relationship to food and the food noise, it's not like I'm going to try to turn the food noise down. We don't, in the mentorship, we don't come at the food issue directly with food, about the food, because I think it just amps that up. The more you're like, because it's not really about that. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, we in our work and our methodology is about almost like, there's a concept in nutrition about crowding out things on your plate where you'll eat more vegetables and you have the protein first, and like it
Yeah.
crowds out. So that's just the analogy that's coming to mind. Good, bad, and I don't know. Maybe you're like, that's a shitty analogy because we are talking about food, but it's what's coming to mind, in that it ends up when you're nutritiously filling yourself up with healthier thoughts and a thought process and really focusing on the bigger things at hand in your life. Let me just say, for example, you always put yourself last, right? It's like, everyone comes before me. I haven't prioritized my self-care. I think every time, I try to take care of myself, it's viewed as selfish. And then, I don't want to look selfish to my family, and I'm not selfish, and I'm so selfless, all that, right?
99% of women in America.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely. Yes.
So like taking a stand to really carve out how you're taking care of your nourishment for your self-care will also include your thoughts. It's also going to start to like crowd out the food noise, because you're pulling in the nutritious behaviors, if that's what you want to call them, the supportive behaviors, even the type of people you're hanging out with. So it ends up becoming like, are you sitting around with your friends right now, or you have a circle of friends who they do talk about dieting, and they're doing it over a glass of wine, and maybe they're commiserating about their husbands and their relationships and their kids. And I'm just saying, take note and recognize that could be fueling food noise, as opposed to being around like a circle, like we have our women's circle, right? Have it in the studio, or we have our group calls in the mentorship program. You're plugging into where you're talking about things that are like, wow, this is really the rubber hitting the road in my life. Talking about my relationships in a more constructive way, where I'm now able to take a look at the dynamic in a relationship. It's like, so you get your power back over your why things are happening the way they are in your life. And that is how food noise is crowded out. It's because you become more comfortable talking about the otherwise really heavy and hard things. But you can, and we talked about a supportive community.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about
Yep.
that. And it's, leaning into your girlfriends and making sure that you're able to really be honest and express yourself in that capacity. And those things are also going to contribute to like drowning out the food noise, but not because you're trying to, because it'll just naturally not be as important, because you've really focused on, this is what my soul really needs. What
Mm-hmm.
am I really craving? It's not being obsessed about the breakfast, lunch, dinner, the snacks. How much protein am I getting? Am I getting enough fiber? Did I take my creatine today? Did I drink enough water? Maybe I need to refill. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like, la, 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 la,
Yes.
right? That gives you a lot of distraction from actually handling, am I happy in my job? Am I making the amount of money that I want to make? Am I in a relationship that I feel appreciated, and is it reciprocated? Like, what is the relationship I have with my children? Those are the things.
Mm-hmm.
So do you see why food noise is so easy? It's so easy to just go to that, because it's like, oh, as much as it's uncomfortable and it's challenging and frustrating, and I'm sure it brings you to tears sometimes, no
Yeah.
doubt about that. At the same time, in your brain is like, I know how to handle this obsession with food and keep myself on that problem. I
Mhm.
don't know how to start dealing with my real life.
Mhm. And on a really quick, easy level, I'm having a really hard day today. Work was really hard. Traffic was terrible. I just want to go home and sit on my couch and have some dopamine hits. Hit me
Yeah.
up. I want to watch something funny on TV. I want to eat a shit ton of food. Dopamine, dopamine, dopamine. And then after that, the cycle of shit of I shouldn't have eaten that. Da, 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 da. And I mean that's basically like looking back, I can remember those days. I mean, those days are just like was this 2020 vision of those days of having a really hard day, feeling unappreciated at work, getting into my car, driving home, ordering chicken fingers, french fries, and blue cheese on the side on my way home because I knew that was going to feel good. I'm like, I just want, and I would even freaking say it out loud. I just want some shitty food to make me feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And because it makes you feel good. And
Temporarily.
then very,
Temporarily.
very fast, very, very quickly, I look at the empty carton and I'm like, or empty styrofoam takeout container from the pizza place. And I'm like, wow, I really wish I didn't do that. Now, my hard day, my traffic, my dopamine hit that came back and slapped me in the face makes me feel even worse. And now here I am feeling
Mm-hmm.
worse. And
And
then
that,
now we're dealing with the actual
yeah.
work, stress,
Mm-hmm.
not feeling all those things. Like that's the dopamine that we all crave. But like what would I do now? I would feel like shit at work. I mean, I don't anymore. I feel like shit at work, drive home. And my go to now is to do some cardio because I know that's going to feel good. I'm going to feel great. I'm going to, the dopamine's going to hit. But that was not like, oh, you know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to do some cardio. No, that was a lot of work, a lot of figuring out what makes me feel better because not everyone wants to do cardio. Some people need to meditate. My husband loves to meditate when he's having a hard day. A lot of people like to just go for a walk. A lot of people just want to take a nap. For
Mm-hmm.
me, I know that lifting some hard weights and sweating my ass off will make me feel better. But that's only because I did the work in the mentorship and I figured it out over time because, I would definitely hate myself. Like Mandy of 3 years ago would be like, fuck you, bitch. Oh, I want to work out. I feel bad. I want to work out. Ugh. I would have been like, whatever. But that girl isn't here anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I will support you, whatever makes you feel good. That's going to make you feel good and keep making you feel good. You know what I mean? It's a toughie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, there's just no way around it. It's going to take time and practice and a lot of compassion and grace for yourself, a lot of support and guidance. I don't see how you do this work alone. I just don't. I and I'm a pretty independent person. I'm an introvert and I just don't like the healing I had accelerated so much even more once I started this program. Like I did go on pretty much on my own for a good 3 years. I leaned into a couple different coaches I worked with to help me with some the food stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really resonate with me. I was like, so I ended up, that's where the mentorship came from and all the modules because it was
Right.
like kind of my own personal like figuring out along the way. However, then when I actually put all the modules together and started really helping women and having being in conversation about it, it continued to heal. It continued to facilitate the next level of like, and it accelerated from there. And that's why we have so much success in our program because it's the in conversation and feeling really like plugged in and like, oh my God, these are my people that so much can happen in a matter of a year. But what do we say? Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. I say that from the out of the gate.
Mm-hmm.
Like slow down because if you think that, I mean this my food noise wasn't coined that at the time, but that started when I was like 15 years old.
Yeah.
So, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, two decades, 20 years is not just going to like rewire my brain and voila, everything's good in a matter of like 3 months,
No.
right? Like that's not like there's so much physiology that is also involved in like behavior. It's like, the four pillars we talk about: mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. It's those four things that we weave together. And your healing process is not linear.
Mm.
It's like we've got to go through these slip ups,
Yeah.
like the binge eating episodes again and again and again and again. However, the difference is now we want to learn. How
Mm-hmm.
do I give myself grace and love and compassion and learn? Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, now I have insight. And then over time, that is where it just dominates less in your brain, just
Right.
doesn't take up as much real estate. And I also want to say the after effects, like you were explaining, Mandy, or like what would happen to you. I'd order,
Mm-hmm.
order whatever, the chicken fingers and get home and all of a sudden, boom, everything's empty and gone. And then you're feeling like shit.
Like
I,
literally your body and your mentally,
yes, all of
physically and
it.
mentally. Yeah.
And I think that that mental cycle of beating yourself up, the guilt, all of that also is part of food noise.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
food noise itself can be that constant, like even while you're not eating, like I should be eating, or you see the pastry, or you're out with friends and there's hors d'oeuvres, and it's all you think about really is like in the back of your mind is the hors d'oeuvres,
Yeah.
and only halfway in the conversation because you're just obsessed about that's some of it. But I think what carries it out and perpetuates the cycle is on the other side of it. When you're consuming the things and then you feel terrible
Yep.
and you're just right back in the guilt shame cycle,
Mm-hmm.
and not having the ability to lean on someone like yourself or myself or
Right.
somebody who's in the work to actually break the cycle,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. I like what you said about crowding it out because what I pictured was, do you know those games where you put a penny in and it goes into the thing and there's like a little thing that pushes the pennies out? And if
Yeah.
you put enough pennies, like a couple of pennies fall down, and sometimes you see like there's dollars in there and they might
Hmm.
all fall down. That's how it is. It's like we
Yeah.
just keep on like dropping a little bit of this, a little
Uh-huh.
bit of that, and then sometimes you have like a couple of things will trickle and you'll be like, oh, I didn't realize that I went this whole day today without even thinking about what I'm going to eat for dinner.
Hmm.
Where, like, once I ate lunch, I think about what was for dinner. Once I ate
Right.
dinner, I was like, are we going to have dessert? Are we going to have snacks? You know what I mean? Like, all day long.
Yeah.
That's that kind of like little victories, or the victory of one of our clients today was talking about how, I noticed that it was a gift to be with my niece or with my daughter, or being able to talk to them, and like all those little things that, like, I'm enjoying this without thinking about what I look like, what people are thinking. That's Those are the little victories that are more important than the size of your pants or the number on the scale.
Hmm.
And those little things that fell, but you keep on adding to it, you keep on doing the work, and you keep on giving yourself a little bit of this, a little bit of that. That's my little analogy.
Yeah, I like
That's
that
what
analogy.
it's called.
Absolutely. Because then like a bunch of them fall and you're like, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Uh-huh.
It's like a big win where you like really feel like proud of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And that is how the whole like diminishing of the food noise happens. It's in reflection and retrospect.
Mm-hmm.
It is looking back at, oh, I went to a wedding. I danced my ass off. I think they cut the cake. I think they brought the cake out. I didn't even think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how it ends up happening.
Right.
Not you're not trying to control it. It's
Mm-hmm.
that is when you're doing the real work and then realizing like, oh, I didn't even oh, I forgot about the cake or it didn't even really matter. I was having so much fun.
Yeah.
Like, my feet hurt. I was dancing so much,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
in retrospect. Or it could be, oh yeah, I went to the movies and you know what? I didn't even want any popcorn this time. Like things like that.
Oh boy, I
That's
can't
like,
even think. I can't imagine going into the movies and not having popcorn. I love popcorn at the movies.
I don't.
You don't?
Uh-uh.
I
I
don't
don't.
eat. I don't eat what as much as I used to. That's for sure. Like I just like I like it as like part of the experience,
Yep.
but I'm not like because I know I would never finish that whole thing anymore. But
Yeah.
like, yes, I love it as part of the experience. Oh my goodness, I love the fake butter taste. I love it all. Love it.
I do like at the movies, I like snow caps. Those are mine.
Oh,
Those are
oh
that's my little like traditional movie thing. However, but even in that, I will still sometimes get it. And I know there's going to be women listening to this and probably want to reach through the screen and punch me in the throat.
yeah.
But I was like, I can actually eat some of it and fold a container and put it back in my pocket. Like I'm okay with like just a handful. And I'm like,
Right.
that's all I really wanted.
It's
I
part of
don't
the
need
experience.
it is. It's part of the
Mm-hmm.
experience. I feel like I'm, taking the experience in,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't get snow caps all the time. Like I think that's part of it too. Like I had I examined some of my like connected habits with what I was doing and the food. Like I remember, like when I was in college, it was like I would always stop for a large Dunkin' Donuts. And I remember this time of year when cinnamon came out, their cinnamon coffee. It was like,
Oh
oh
yeah.
my God, oh
Mm-hmm.
so good. But then I found myself sometimes where I'm like, I picked up the coffee and I brought it, and at that time I would put like 6 packets of um I didn't like Sweet and Low. What's the other one? NutraSweet? The blue one?
Splenda, NutraSweet.
Yeah, sweet NutraSweet. I would put like 6 packets of NutraSweet in it.
Oh God, it sounds terrible.
Like until I eventually because I literally was like, oh my God, I think I'm having like nervous system issues. My legs started hurting
Oh
me.
yeah, there's so much shit in those things.
So I weaned myself off, and now it's like coffee, no sugar. I haven't put sugar in my coffee in years and years and years and years since then. But my point is, I would have this habit of when I was leaving work and going to class, and
Right.
I would pick up, and I'd be sitting in class, and I'm like, I don't even want this coffee, but I got it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was also like, a
Yep.
little bit of awareness setting in of like, I'm just doing the thing out of habit, not because I actually want it.
Right. And that's part of the work of the program.
Yeah.
That's part of what we talk about when we're going through the modules is that stuff. That is
Hmm.
the stuff, like the real stuff that we go, okay, let's see. Like you really you start off with I mean, it's weird because there is that awareness. Okay, now I'm aware that I have this food noise. Now I'm going to talk to myself about it. That pastry down in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Do I really want this pastry in the kitchen? Do I want it? And like, I remember I would sit and I'd be like, what do I want for breakfast? I would sit there and be like, because I would always, like, it would go out to breakfast with my friends.
Hmm.
We're out to breakfast with my friends. I have to get the biggest fucking thing I could find. I have to get, because I'm out to breakfast with my friends, I want to get the big platter of all of the things and go, I'm so bad. Oh my God, I'm being so bad today. I'm eating all the bad foods, you know?
Yep.
And then after I started doing the work, I sat down and I was like, I don't know what I actually really want. Did I eat this because I wanted it, or did I eat it because I was being bad? And that's when it starts to get like the rubber meets the road because you're like, okay, let me think. What do I actually want? And then I'm like thinking about what I want, how it's going to make me feel. How do I want to feel after I'm done eating? Now, that's not how I am anymore
Yeah.
because I got to know myself, like what I
Yeah.
actually really like, as opposed to what I'm just eating because I'm supposed to eat it. I'm not supposed to eat it. I'm being good today. I'm being bad today.
Right.
I'm like, I don't even know what I want. So that's that. And it's so, there's so many different ways to be like, I don't know what I want. Like another client was talking about, I don't know what I like to wear because I just wear what I'm supposed to wear because it covers me up. And I'm a mom, so I'm not supposed to wear anything too sexy. And I don't even know what I like. It's crazy. It's not crazy. It's neat. It's
Yeah.
so cool to figure
It
out
is.
what I
Yeah.
like. what and go, oh my gosh, the way it's been lifted, I actually don't have a clue what foods I like.
It's so like, God, when those moments hit you of like that level of awareness, sometimes tears can come
Oh yeah.
because there's a bit of like almost there can be a sadness for yourself of like, oh my God, like the veil has been lifted
Yeah.
kind of a thing.
Yeah. How have I been living like this? I can't believe I've been
Yeah.
doing this to myself for so long. Yeah.
And being very blocked to it and
Yeah.
very like blind to it. And then when that starts to like that veil becomes thinner and lifted, and then once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
And then that is how it starts to trickle in with, okay, it may start with just like, oh my God, I just put on these clothes and I didn't even like question, did I like them? Don't I like them? Like, I didn't even question it. Well, of course, that's going to happen with your food. You're not going to be very discerning about that. It's like, I'm just going to I'll eat this pizza just because it's there. But,
Mhm.
well, I like pizza, but do I like that pizza? You know,
Yeah.
you get to be discerning,
Mm-hmm.
much more discerning. And to claim that of your own trust in yourself of like, I like this and I don't like that. And I like this and I don't like that. And I like this, but only this much of that. I don't like all of it. So you start to become a little bit more picky. And in that process, that is where you realize like, maybe I can eat more of whatever it is I want because you're starting to trust yourself with food, and the whole good food, bad food thing is just not helpful because it just continues to feed the food noise.
Yeah.
It's just perpetual cycle. So
Yeah.
this was a good topic today for
Yeah.
sure. And it was, I know one that was coming for sure. I could kind of, was like, I know it's going to be coming at some point because we've been seeing it everywhere.
Yeah.
Um, and it's something that, again, you hear it and you're like, oh, I know what that is. Like so many women relate to it. If they feel like food just takes over their brain, or even drinking, right? Drinking
Mm-hmm.
wine, take over
Yep.
your brain.
Yeah.
So if any part of this conversation resonated with you, we would love to talk to you about the mentorship. And even if it's not something that let's just see what it's about. And maybe not something you do right away. You maybe plant the seed. Other women I've talked to are like, oh my God, I freaking need this. And the time is right and the alignment is there. And they're just so they're just exhausted and tired. And this is a whole different method that can really give you more light and energy and hope and inspiration and not like hyped up false. So we invite you to book a call with Mandy because it's worth having a conversation to at least explore what else is possible. What other method is there that you haven't tried? It's not dieting, and it's not therapy. This is something different. This can complement therapy if you are working with a therapist that you really love working with. This could complement your work, but it's really a totally different approach. So we invite you in because if food noise is ruling your life, enough. There's so many more rich and fun things to be thinking about and planning and being excited about in your life without that real estate taking up so much space and heaviness in your mind, and your body. So, all right, any last thoughts, Mandy?
No, I'm so excited to get this one out there.
Good.
I know so many people are gonna definitely.
Yeah. Yep.
Can't wait to hear what people have to say.
Yeah, me neither. So comment below if anything came up you want to share, you're inspired. We would absolutely love to hear from you.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see you on the next one, guys.